1. Introduction. My name is Nina. I was 24 years old when I first came to Daniel's house. It was a very big house, but it felt quiet. The air inside was heavy. It was a place of deep sadness. Daniel's wife had died not long ago. This meant he was now alone with his 3 young children. They were triplets, and they were only 3 years old. Their mother was gone, and the house felt empty without her. Daniel was very sad. He was lost in his grief. He worked every day, but when he came home, he did not know how to take care of the children. He needed help, so I came to be their nanny. My job was to look after the 3 little ones. I cooked food for them. I helped to clean the house. Most importantly, I cared for the children every day. I made sure they felt safe and loved. When I first arrived, Daniel did not talk much. He hardly looked at me. His eyes were dark, full of pain. His heart was broken. He was still thinking about his wife. It was clear that the family was going through a very difficult time. The house was full of sorrow. But the children were different. When they looked at me, I felt something else. They saw me as a small light in their sad home. They needed someone to play with them, to read to them, and to give them comfort. I understood this deeply. My main focus was always on them. I tried to bring some warmth and care into their lives, even for a few hours each day. Every day, I made sure they ate well and played outside. I read them stories before bed. I helped them with their baths. The house was still quiet, but sometimes I heard a small laugh from one of the children. These moments were important. They showed that even in a house full of grief, there could still be small parts of joy. I knew my work was important. I was there to help these 3 young children find some happiness again, even if their father could not yet see it. I wanted to make their lives a little brighter in a very dark time. I was just the nanny, but I wanted to do my best for them. I felt a strong duty to protect their innocence in this difficult situation. 2. The new mother. The 3 children quickly grew close to Nina. They were triplets, and their small lives had been quiet for too long. When Nina played games, their laughter filled the big house. This sound was new. Before, the rooms had been full of sadness. Now there was joy. Nina spent all her time with the children. She read them stories. She helped them build tall towers. She taught them simple songs. The children loved these moments. They often followed her. Sometimes they cried if she was away too long. This showed how much they trusted her. Nina became like a mother to them. When one child had a cut, Nina cleaned it gently. She put a colorful bandage on it and gave a warm hug. When they had bad dreams, Nina sat by their beds. She held their small hands until they felt safe. She kissed their foreheads, telling them everything was okay. These small acts of love were very important. They helped the children to feel secure and loved. The house slowly changed. It was no longer a place of only silence and grief. It became a home with warm sounds. There was the happy noise of children playing. There was Nina's gentle voice. The children's faces showed more smiles each day. They were starting to heal. Daniel, the children's father, began to see these changes. He worked hard, but when he came home, he noticed the difference. He would often stand quietly in the doorway. From there, he watched Nina with his children. He saw how they looked at her with love. He saw how she cared for them with all her heart. Daniel did not say much. He was still a quiet man, but his eyes watched Nina closely. He saw her patience and kindness. He saw the deep bond she had formed with his 3 children. It was clear that Nina was more than just an employee. She was bringing life back into their world. A new feeling started to grow between Nina and Daniel. It was not spoken with words. It was a silent understanding. Daniel saw Nina's love for his children. He knew she was giving them something very special. Nina felt his quiet thanks. She also felt his slow acceptance. This unspoken connection was a new part of their shared life. 3. A long time. 4 years passed quickly in the big house. The children, who were once 3 years old, were now 7. Their small voices had grown louder, and their games were bigger. They learned to read simple books and write their names. They asked many questions about the world. Nina was always there to answer them. She helped them with their schoolwork and taught them new songs. The children still ran to Nina for hugs and comfort, just like they did on the first day. They trusted her with all their hearts. Nina's love for the 3 children grew stronger with each passing day. They felt like her own, but her heart held another secret. Nina had also grown to love Daniel. It was a quiet love, hidden deep inside her. She knew her place was as the nanny, not as a woman in his life. So she kept her feelings locked away. She told herself that this was the right thing to do. It was hard to hide her true feelings, especially when Daniel looked at her with a gentle smile. Sometimes, a simple thank you from him made her heart beat fast. She would quickly look away, afraid he might see her secret. Daniel had changed a lot during these 4 years. His sad face slowly became less sad. He began to smile more often, and sometimes Nina heard him laugh. His laughter was soft at first, like a quiet song. He still worked hard every day, but he started to come home earlier. He would sit with Nina and the children at the dinner table. They talked about their day, about school, and about funny things that happened. These meals felt like real family dinners. Daniel listened to the children's stories, and sometimes he even looked at Nina and shared a small joke. They were a group of 5 people living together, eating together, and sharing many moments. To someone looking in from the outside, they might have looked like a family. But Nina knew the truth. There was a big, invisible wall between her and Daniel. This wall was made of silence. It was also made of fear. Nina feared speaking her true feelings. Daniel also seemed to fear something. They did not talk about the past, about the sadness, or about their feelings for each other. They did not talk about the future. They lived in a comfortable quiet, but the wall stayed strong. One day, this quiet changed. For a new woman. One day, Daniel brought a woman to the house. Her name was Clare. She was beautiful and rich, but she was also cold. She did not like the children. She smiled at Daniel, but she often frowned at the three young ones. The children felt this. They did not run to her. They stayed close to me instead. I could see it in Clare's eyes. She did not want me there. She watched me when I was with the children. She did not like how much they loved me. She saw me as a problem. She wanted to be the only important woman in Daniel's house. She wanted me to leave. Clare began to spend much time with Daniel. She whispered in his ear. At first, her words were soft suggestions, but soon her whispers became stronger. They became like orders. Daniel started to listen to her more and more. He changed some things in the house because of her. He did not look at me the same way. He smiled less. I felt a big change in the house. The happy sounds were not so many now. A new quiet came, a tense quiet. My heart felt heavy. Clare made it clear she wanted me gone. She moved my things. She changed small parts of the children's day. Daniel did not stop her. He seemed to agree with her. I knew the end was coming. I just did not know when. Then, one night, Daniel called me. He stood in the hallway. His face was serious. He did not look into my eyes. His voice was low. "Nina," he said, "Clare believes it is time for you to leave. She thinks the children are older now. She says they do not need a nanny anymore." His words hit me hard. I had feared them. My breath stopped. 4 years of my life, 4 years of loving these children might end. My heart felt a sharp pain. What would happen to them? What would happen to me? I felt very sad and lost. 5, a sad goodbye. Clare spoke to me. Her words were clear and cold. "The children are old enough now," she said. "Daniel needs a new life. He does not need a nanny anymore." My heart felt a sudden pain. I knew this moment would come, but it still hurt very much. I had been their nanny for 4 years, and I had become their mother in all but name. This was a goodbye I did not want to say. The triplets heard Clare. Their small faces became very sad. They ran to me quickly. Their small arms held me tight. "Don't go, Nina," they cried. Their tears wet my shirt. I held them close, trying to give them comfort. But Clare stepped forward. She took their hands. She pulled them away from me. Her eyes were hard. She did not care about their sadness. She did not care about my sadness. It was clear she wanted me gone. I had to leave. I walked out of the big house for the last time. My eyes burned with tears. My face felt hot. I could not see clearly. The door closed behind me. It was a loud sound. It felt like a final goodbye. My heart felt broken into many pieces. The house, which was once full of laughter and love because of the children, was now a place of deep sadness for me. For many days, I could not sleep. My small apartment was quiet, too quiet. I missed the children's voices. I missed their running feet. The silence was louder than any noise. It filled my ears and my mind. Every day felt long and empty. I walked around my rooms feeling lost. I did not know what to do. My purpose was gone. I felt alone and without direction. I told myself to be strong. "It is over," I whispered to myself. "You were only the nanny." I tried to believe these words. I tried to tell my heart that it was true, but my heart did not listen. It still felt the love. It still felt the pain. I believed that my time with them was finished. My part in their lives was over. I was just the woman who looked after them for a while. Now, someone else would take my place. This thought made me feel even more alone. I had given 4 years of my life. I had loved them as my own, and now I had nothing. The future seemed dark and empty without them. I did not know how to live without their smiles, their hugs, and their small hands in mine. This goodbye was the hardest thing I had ever felt. It was a goodbye to my family, a goodbye to my home, and a goodbye to a love I could not speak. 6. He comes back. My small apartment felt quiet. I had been there for days, feeling lost and sad. My heart still hurt because I missed the children. I thought about them always, wondering if they were well. Then a strong knock came at my door. I was surprised. I walked to the door and saw Daniel. His face was not calm. It was full of anger and deep pain. His eyes were red and he looked tired. I opened the door slowly. He stood there looking at me. "Daniel," I asked, my voice soft. "What are you doing here?" He did not answer. Instead, he asked, "Where are the children, Nina?" His voice was rough. "They are at home, I think," I said, worried. He took a deep breath. "They are crying for you," he said. His voice became louder. "They refuse to eat. They refuse to sleep. Claire cannot touch them. I cannot calm them. Nothing works." He shook his head. "They just call your name, Nina, again and again." My heart felt a strong pull. The children being so sad was what I had feared. Daniel stepped closer. His anger mixed with desperation. "Nina, what have you done to us?" he asked. His voice was very sad now. "We cannot live without you. The house is silent again. It is worse than before. It is empty." He looked into my eyes. His own eyes were full of deep sadness. "I cannot live without you," he said. His voice broke. It was a quiet whisper filling the small room. His words hit me like a wave. For 4 years, a wall of silence had been between us. Now his words had broken it. He confessed something important. Daniel needed me, not just for the children, but for himself. I stood there, unable to speak. His confession hung in the air, changing everything. This was not about a nanny anymore. This was about him and about me. 7, the real love. Nina stood before Daniel. Her hands were shaking badly. Her heart beat very fast, like a drum. She had kept a big secret deep inside her for many years. Now it was time to speak the truth. It was the hardest thing she had ever done. "I cannot come back to this house just as a nanny," she said. Her voice was quiet, but it was also very strong. "I cannot pretend anymore. I cannot live in the shadows while you are with someone else." Daniel looked at her. His eyes were wide with surprise. He did not understand her words at first. He had come to her house full of pain and worry for his children. He had missed her more than he could say. But he did not expect to hear these words from her. Nina took a deep breath. It felt like her whole life depended on this moment. "I love you, Daniel," she said. The words came out slowly, each one full of years of hidden feeling. "I have loved you for a very long time. I cannot stay here and watch you love another woman. I want to be more than just the children's nanny. I want to be your woman. I want to be part of your life, truly." A long silence filled the small room. Daniel did not move. He just stared at Nina, his mind working quickly. He remembered Nina with the children, always full of care. He remembered her kind smile and her gentle touch. He remembered how she had brought laughter and light back into his sad house. He remembered how empty and cold his home felt without her. He had called her Nanny for so long. But in his heart, he knew she was always much more. He saw her true feelings shining in her eyes. He saw her great courage to speak them. He saw the deep love she had for him and for his 3 children. He understood now. He had been blind for too long, lost in his own sadness. He had been afraid to see the truth. Finally, Daniel took a slow step closer to Nina. His voice was soft, filled with new and strong feelings. "Nina," he said, "I love you too. I was blind for too long. I did not see what was right in front of me." Nina's eyes filled with happy tears. She had dreamed of hearing these words for so many years. "You are not just a nanny," Daniel continued, his voice growing stronger. "You are much more than that. You are my heart. You are everything I need. You are the one who made our house a home again. You are the one who brought us back to life." A powerful new feeling filled the room. It was not sadness. It was not anger. It was a strong feeling of hope and true love. They looked at each other, and for the first time, they truly saw each other's souls. The high wall of silence that had stood between them for years was finally gone. It had fallen down completely. They saw their real love, clear and bright. It was a wonderful new beginning for them all. 8, our new life. Clare was very angry. She screamed many words, her face red. Then she left the house, slamming the door hard behind her. The sound echoed in the quiet air. We knew that many people would soon hear about what happened, and they did. The news spread quickly through the town. Neighbors started to whisper when they saw us. They talked about Daniel and me. Some people said I had stolen Daniel from Clare. They said I was a bad woman. Others said I had planned all of this for a very long time, that I only wanted his money or his house. These words were like sharp, cold stones thrown at us. They tried to hurt us, but I did not care about their words. They could not touch my heart. Daniel also did not listen to the gossip. He stood right by my side. He held my hand tightly, and he never let it go. We faced all the talk together, strong and united. Our love was new, but it was also very strong. We knew our truth, and that was enough for us. The most important thing was the children. They were so happy. They ran to me, their arms open wide. They hugged me close, and their voices sang, "Mama, Mama." It was the most beautiful sound I had ever heard. It filled my ears and my heart with pure joy. It was a dream come true. Our new life began. It was not always easy, because love that starts with shadows and secrets can have many challenges. Some people did not understand our sudden change. They judged us, and their unkind thoughts were like small, constant enemies to our happiness. But we learned to ignore them. Inside our home, we built our own world. Every day, we worked to make our family stronger. Daniel and I talked about everything. We shared our thoughts and our dreams. We cooked meals together. We read stories to the children, and we played many games. We learned to trust each other completely, more and more each day. There were still hard days, of course. Sometimes the old sad feelings from the past tried to come back, but we always remembered why we were together. We remembered our deep love. This memory made us strong. It helped us move forward. I was no longer just a nanny in Daniel's house. I was his love, his partner. I was the children's mother in every way that mattered. My heart knew this truth, and it felt complete. We found true happiness in our home, a happiness that grew stronger with each passing day. It was a new start, a new path, a new lesson for all of us. And we walked it together, hand in hand, building a future filled with love.